going to break down for you in this training how to create win-win collabs that result in cash infusions into your bank account every time you do it. So how many of you want to create or have more partnerships, i.e. collaborations? And how many of you want those collabs to feel good, like not pressured? That's possible for you. You're in the right place. So would it be helpful for you if I shared with you a simple, clear, doable way to create more of those collabs so that you would never again lack for traffic or have a problem growing your reach? Because this is how you grow your email list. This is how you become known. It starts with one person, and then the audiences grow, and then they experience you in an event like this, or when they work with you and they're like, you gotta listen to this girl. There's this episode I heard on her podcast or on so-and-so's podcast. And so, yeah, those nasty yeah buts that may be coming up again, even right now, like, why would anybody want to collab with me? That's the beauty of what I'm going to show you today, because we're talking about so much more than marketing. We're talking about impact. Being a part of generational impact starts with your willingness to suspend your disbelief. Judy, I want to believe it, but I can't. Can you believe it this much? I'm giving you a smudge. Can you start there? Are you willing to believe? Are you willing to look at your abundance, at the possibility, and not the lack? Because the enemy is going to want to point you to the lack. Garden of Eden. You have all these trees to eat, and the enemy says, ooh, God's not trustworthy because he said you can't eat from that one tree, right? So this $1 million collab formula, thankfully it has just 2 steps, so please write this down, okay? So how do I collab with people of influence? By the way, we're all people of influence. It's a matter of degree. Okay, first step, make yourself irresistible to collaborate with. Make yourself irresistible to collaborate with. So yes, right off the bat, bulletin, you have layers of irresistibility inside you. We got to draw them out. We got to identify them. Now I want you to just sit with that for a moment. This is going back to the willingness to suspend any disbelief. Who am I to? Who was Moses to? Who was Esther to? Okay, so make yourself irresistible. That's step 1. Then step 2 is identify those potential collab partners, and then do the juice to make you an easy yes for them. That's kind of a 2-parter. So first, make yourself irresistible. 2, actually pitch yourself to collab partners and make it an easy yes for them to say, let's go, let's collab. All right, let's go deeper into this super leveraged collab success formula. Okay, first step was making yourself irresistible. How do we do this? Okay, first I want to introduce you to the collaboration ladder. So this is the different ways that you can collaborate with collaborators. And so we're going to take them one by one. Okay, one way that you can collaborate is inviting them to your podcast. The them is the potential collaborators, right? So you can say, hey, you want to be a guest on my show? Or you can pitch yourself to be a guest on their show. Collaborate in that way. These are different ways to collaborate. What's another way we can collaborate? You can present a masterclass to their audience, like owners of Facebook groups, coaches like myself. Like, as an example, I don't teach SEO. One of my former clients is an SEO master, and we're talking about coming in and teaching a class. And there may be people in my world who then want to hire her or you. That was the example. Hey, can I jump in to your beautiful container and teach your people? I know you don't really address this. And that, again, will make them look great so that the audience, their own clients, will love them all the more, and it expands your exposure. How else could we collab? A virtual event like this, where you could say, hey, would you like to promote my event to your audience? And in exchange, you get to decide what the exchange is. In exchange, I'll give you a percentage of the clients I get from this. Could be one option. Or you could say, hey, I'd love you to give a guest presentation within my 5 days as an example, or within my masterclass, but some way of collaboration on a virtual event, right? Another one is maybe they have a stage, whether it's in person or virtual. And so this is a variation on the masterclass theme. So this is a bigger stage where you actually present. Okay. So the final is a joint venture, because a lot of times on stages you can present and maybe you can kind of direct them to your lead magnet, but a lot of stages you're not allowed to pitch. The joint venture would be something along the lines of, let's do something together. Like maybe let me hop on your stage and let me pitch an offer and we'll share the revenue and you guys determine the percentages. Okay. So if you want to take a quick screenshot of this, I'll let it up there for a second, but this is the collaboration ladder. And the good news is you can hop on anywhere. You don't have to start low and work your way up. You could choose to pitch a masterclass on to their audience right away. Okay. Here's the thing. When you pitch yourself, you need to come from a place of victory. You need to come from a place of course, they're going to want to collab with me. And I'm going to show you why that is. But I just want you to understand, if you attempt this without the right mindset, you might as well not even do it. And also, and I don't think I have to worry about this one with you ladies, but there are some that are just so obviously me when they pitch that it's like, no thanks. Like I get pitched many times a week and to get on my podcast. And it's like, why would I do that? If it's like you don't even come from a place of wanting to serve my audience, right? So I don't think you're thinking about the money when you pitch. You're thinking about heart, service, value, connection, relationship. That is a beautiful place to collab from. Okay. All right. So let's make you collaboration ready. And this emphasizes something we talked about all week. This is to be super clear. Come back to me. This is so important. How do you make yourself collab ready? Make yourself so clear on your tangible results, like what you help your clients achieve. As in, like, wow, before I worked with Judy, like in my case, I would say before my clients work with me, they didn't have this. Now that they work with me, they have this, right? So identify the big transformation. So here's a question. When you're thinking about your big result and you're thinking about who you might want to collaborate with, what do you think is the biggest reason why somebody would not want to collaborate with you? Why would someone who we think would be a wonderful collaborator really wouldn't want to collaborate with you? What would stop them? The biggest reason why? I want to see if anybody's going to get it. Because they fear that what? Or they think that what? So here's an example, because I want to make this real for you. For me, as a business coach, I might want to collab with a career coach, because I know that sometimes it's not a new job somebody wants, but they want to start a business. And so I need to make clear to my career coach in this example that I help my clients achieve building a business, so that the career coach understands, I don't want to steal your people. I don't do career coaching. Yes, we both coach and we have the same best client potentially, but my work is distinct and different from yours. And so I would say to the career coach, listen, before working with me, my clients have a desire to start a business, but they really don't have a clue how. But after working with me, and by the way, this pitch will be different. It's tailored to the person with whom I'm speaking, right? Because my best client in my accelerator is not just starting a business. She already has started. So I want you to understand, you tailor this to who you're talking to. And it's still true though. I have some best clients that just started a business. You heard from her, Christiane, in my client success stories. Okay, but here's what I'd say. Before working with me, my clients have a desire to start a business, but they don't have a clue how. But after working with me, clients will know exactly how to take their expertise and package it into an irresistible offer so they can launch their business with confidence and sign clients quickly. Okay, here's another example. I might be looking at a business mindset coach. And in this example, let's talk about my mastermind. So in this example, we both serve multi-six-figure entrepreneurs. And we both touch on mindset. She focuses on it and I touch on it. But in order for that collaboration, for her to not say, oh, she's just trying to steal my clients, I have to make super clear the result that I help my clients get in a very tangible way that makes plain, I'm not here to poach your clients. So for her, I might say, before working with me, my clients lack the steps to predictably scale their business past their current plateau. But after working with me, they know the scaling strategies to implement, right? They got to streamline their offers. They got to automate their marketing. They got to scale their selling, and they need a team of A players. So I'm very specific and very tangible. And there is nothing about mindset in what I just said. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, can you please pop a got it in the chat so that I know I'm making sense? Very specific. Specificity requires power thinking. Learn to love thinking. Believe me, I used to kick. And this is why I got 100,000 in debt as a lawyer, so I could learn how to think. Yes, and thank you. Okay, so stay at this high level of just dispelling any disbelief and understand that you can do this too. But next, we need to get really clear on your method. Okay, so now we know the result. For purposes of collabing, I really need you to get clear on your method, your process, the how you help your clients achieve that result. We talked about the system. This is similar, but a little bit different. So stay with me. I need you to have your thinking caps on. So here's why this is important. Yes, I help and women grow and scale their business, but there are a lot of coaches who help women grow and scale their business. So I need to make any collaboration partner that I choose, I need to make it an easy yes for them to choose me rather than any of my competitors, quote unquote, right? So I need to make this, what I'm about to say, super clear to them. When you approach a collab partner, they're going to think, why you? And how do you do what you do? Because they may be considering a bigger name. And so you have to show them, not just tell them. Say show. Even though you're muted, say show. I need to show them, not just tell them, why you are the better and obvious choice. And I need you to tap your chest right now, even if I can't see you, and say, I am the obvious choice. Even if you don't believe it, we're going to believe it a little bit. I'm the obvious choice. And so that is your job, to identify, first for yourself, why you're the obvious choice, so that you can communicate that, you can show that to those you've identified to collaborate with. Now, let's not shrink away. See, I always want to bring you back to reality, because I know, yes, Judy, that sounds great. And meanwhile, stuff's swirling in your head like, I don't know what she's saying. I don't know if this will work for me. Okay. Don't shrink away and allow the enemy's whispers of, uh-oh, getting a little too big for your britches. How dare you say you're the obvious choice? How dare you? Like you're the best? Who do you think you are? The enemy's whispering to you right now, right? As a human, we're nothing. But for purposes of your business, as the expert and potential collaborator, you are something, and you have to believe that. Because if you don't, why would anybody else? See, we don't have to think in terms of I'm better. We need to think I'm different. And we need to identify what that different is. Because no doubt you're unique, fearfully and wonderfully made by the hand of Almighty God, Psalm 139:14. So I'm not puffing you up, and I don't ask you to puff yourself up artificially. I'm just retelling you, and I'm asking you to search your brain to retell yourself what God himself said about you. You're special, you're unique, you're one of a kind, you're called, you're anointed, you're equipped. Of course, you're the obvious choice, especially for this collaborative partner you've identified. Why? Because the Lord God built you for this. If you see it, if you know this is true, Type in I am. Type in I am. I am the obvious choice. Just I am. I am. What comes after I am is critically important. I am. I am. I am the obvious choice. I am different. I'm not better. I'm different. Okay. All right. So let me show you how to find an aspect of your work that is absolutely breaking news so that you know precisely what to emphasize about you and how you do things. And so this point of differentiation has to be emphasized not only in your pitch to collaborate, but also in your marketing. So this is good juice. Are you ready? Okay. First step, find your competitors who do similar work to you. That's step one. Okay. Stay with me. Step two, identify what they say is required. This is necessary. I'm going to give you an example in a second. So hang on, just write this down. Step one, find the competitors who do what you do generally. Step two, identify what they say is necessary. You got to do this. You got to have that. And then step three, reject those things and show why your methodology gets your clients better and or faster results. So here's an example, a weight loss coach. You do your analysis and you know that your competitors say you need to count calories, exercise every day, and eat keto only. I'm making that up. I don't know anything. And you say, nope, none of that's needed. To lose weight, you don't need any of that. And then you present your method. What you do need is boom, boom, boom. And so when everybody else, when all your competitors are harping on whatever I just said, what did I say? Count calories, exercise daily, and eat keto only. You not only say you don't need any of that, but you say you can actually lose weight faster, more healthy when you do this instead. And so now, as an audience owner who is considering two pitches to collab with, the one everybody else says, the exercise, count your calories, all that, and you who say, oh no, that's all garbage. We got to do this. Who do you think they're going to choose? Tell me, A, the usual, or B, you? A or B? Because look, audience owners, they want, believe me, when I have a podcast pitch, I want to find somebody that helps me do my job easier. Tell me why you. I've had other mindset coaches. Why should I have you on my show? Right? Make it easy for them. It's a no-brainer. And again, we're reiterating what we talked about earlier this week. Identify your unique perspective, your way of doing things, and carve out that space in the market and own it loud and proud. Okay? So the gurus say this, my competitors say this, but I say that. So as a practical matter, and here's the mic drop moment that y'all need to get. When you say that your way works faster, better, and what they're saying is nonsense, you are literally making them, even the gurus, irrelevant. You're calling them out on a lie. You're busting myths. That allows you to be heard. You are making a way for yourself by taking a strong position. And so how many of us would love to make our competitors irrelevant? Yes, please. Irrelevant. Type that in. I want to make my competitors irrelevant. Okay? So see, again, there's no problem that's bigger than you. When we're going all in, we're standing in our authority again. We're leaders. Doing this work is going to require you to step out of your comfort zone and take a strong stance. But in Christ, we're built for this. No more yeah buts. There's always a solution. Okay? All right, so now you're collaboration ready. Next, we're on step 2. Identify your collab partners. So how do you find them? I gave some ideas, I think it was yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I guess it was the day before yesterday, on how to find podcasts where your best clients are. So that's a great way to start, right? Go to Apple, search in some keywords, find out who the host is, okay? But how do you find great collab partners outside of that. Here's another way. I want you to think of your best client and think of their kind of storyline. Think of their experience. Okay. So them achieving the results that you provide. Okay. So just picture the life, the experience of your best client, and identify others that they would work with before working with you and or after working with you. Okay. So on the before, like, how can I find potential collab partners who work with my clients before me? You can ask, who is serving my people before my people are ready for me? Right? Another way to say this is, who is creating the problem that I solve? So let me give you an example. For me, as a business coach, working with women to hit their first 100K in my accelerator, like, who is in the life of my best client before they need me? So one person who may come in the life of my best client before they're ready to work with me is a life coach, a Christian life coach who helps my best client, we share the same best client, who helps her identify her God-given purpose. Do you see that? Does that make sense? Who is my best client working with or interacting with before they need to work with me? I'll give you another example of who might come in the life of my best client before they need me in the accelerator. And that is lawyers, business lawyers who help women establish their LLC or S Corp. Because those that consult with a lawyer to do that, instead of doing it online through LegalZoom, are the women that take their business seriously and they're willing to invest because they've already done it. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you one more example. On my mastermind side, so we're talking about women who are scaling from 6 to 7 figures, who has worked with her before she's ready for my mastermind? Well, a coach who only works with clients to reach 6 figures and doesn't deal with operations, team, selling at scale, long-term strategic planning, right? So I hope that I'm going to come to the chat. Does that make sense? Do you starting to see how this storyline, the experience of your best client, helps you to find the people who come before you? Okay. All right. So again, think about who is creating for your best client the problem or setting them up for the problem that you solve to be solved. Okay, that's the before. Now we're going to look at the after. Who serves my clients after me? What's the next problem my clients need to solve after I help them get the results that I help them get? So, for example, I don't, I'm not an 8-figure coach, so that's not my bailiwick. So maybe I collaborate with a coach who only works with those 7-figure entrepreneurs to get to 8 or 9 figures, because that is where my mastermind client is going to go next. I can't help her get. I can only help her get to 7 figures, not 8. Okay. So to start identifying for you, the work is who comes before you in your work with your best client, who comes after you. Okay. So do research and identify 5 to start. Identify 5 people before and 5 people after. Okay. Now hold on. I'm going to give you some help. And before we get the specific people, it's great to get an idea of the type of person, right? That's what I'm talking about. I said career coaches, I said lawyers. So we're not talking specific people here. We're talking about categories of people. Okay. So where could you find people to put on that list of before and after? Here's some great places to start. First, Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups. And why I love LinkedIn is LinkedIn has a great search feature. So whoever your best client is and however you describe her, pop it in and see what groups come up that serve her. Because owners of Facebook groups is a great potential collaborator. How else? Another search engine in YouTube. Put that best client in, because those that are prolific on YouTube and have a following there, they'd be great. great potential collab partner. And then you also might want to go in Amazon and do a book search related to your best client. And, however you would describe her situation. Sometimes that's a great way to find, it's a great way to discover what you may not have even thought of. I love those three. So groups, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Amazon book search. Okay. So now we have the potential collab partners, at least their categories, right? And so now we need to get in front of these people. So we're going to get the categories. Then when we say, for my example, career coaches, now I'm going to search for those career coaches specifically by name. Okay. Are you following me? Okay. So now we have that list. How do we get in front of them to grab their attention and make it an easy yes for them to say, of course I want to work with you? Because remember, we're the obvious choice. Okay. How do we do that? It's a two-stepper. First, we got to get their attention. Second, we have to show them your collective best clients storyline. So again, that we're reassuring them that I'm not here to poach. I'm not here to steal your clients, right? So first, grab their attention. Secondly, you say, you're here in our best client storyline, and I'm here. Okay. So first, how do we get their attention? Write this down. How do you get their attention? Many ways you get to decide, but here are some ideas. Send them a DM. And I recommend sending a video. When you send a video, it's almost like I can't not watch, right? So send them a DM video. Alternatively, send them a voice note. Either one, what I love about them is that they get a taste of your personality, and that energy comes through in a way that the flat word simply cannot. However, some of you will be like, I don't know how to do a voice note. I don't want to do a voice note. And I certainly don't want to do a video. Well, I would say it's time to get over that. Okay. Because I look in the mirror and I don't like it, but that doesn't stop me from doing what I need to do. And I don't want it to stop you. Okay. But besides sending a video or doing a voice note somewhere, send them an email, but you've got to have a wowzer subject line or it'll get lost. So if you want to make it the hard way, send an email. If you want to get seen more easily, do the first two, okay? Or how about this one? Why don't you send a package in snail mail? That's pretty sweet. It can be expensive. So it depends on the opportunity, right? You could send them a letter, snail mail, lots of different things, okay? But people check video. When someone DMs you a video, don't you look? So make it easy on yourself. And here, I'm going to give you a little bit of a script. It's not that great. It's nothing more than you could do, but I want to help you to get over the what ifs or but what, whatever, what ifs. Okay. If you personalize, you say, hey, Jackie, I made this for you. Right. I made this for you. I've admired your work so much. I especially loved episode number toodly doodly do when you said ... that was a mic drop moment for me. Thank you for that. And then you get into the pitch, but you see, you got to grab their attention because these influencers we want to get in front of, whether they have 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers, everybody's busy. So you have to stand out. So be thoughtful about your outreach, right? And so grab their attention right up front. It's not, hey, so-and-so, I have this, I am that. It's always about them. If you say too many I's in the first paragraph, I wouldn't even read it. How many cold emails are we getting? Lord knows how they're getting through. I thought spam was a thing. Anyway. Okay. You know me and my tech. Okay. So right up front, make sure you tell them what's in it for them. Why should they take time to even open this email or to watch your video? So don't just send a video, say something personal. Hey, Jackie, I watched episode Baba da Ba and I couldn't help but send this. Who wouldn't read that and open the video, right? And watch it. Okay, so now that you have their attention, step 2, show them your collective best client storyline. So you would say something like this. I want to make this collaboration a no-brainer for you. I know you have an audience that is desperately in need of blank, desperately in need of a faster, better way to lose weight without X, Y, and Z, right? That's, you were making your competitor irrelevant. And so I teach weight loss as a joy-filled lifestyle without the X, Y, and Z. That's it. Sounds so simple, but it is. Let's be okay with simple, right? This isn't rocket science. And can I tell you, I got this while inside one of my 25K masterminds, and I'm gifting it to you. You're welcome. And like, this is a ginormous benefit of working with me, because as I learn things from my coaches and mentors, I share it with my clients. That's the value of being in the room working with me. It's easily tenfold, whatever the investment is. We ascribe to God's way of doing business. It's not about working harder. It's about thinking higher. My clients are all in, so am I. I'm chasing your results, helping accelerate your success. Let's go. So when it comes to pitching potential collaborators to leverage your visibility, are you willing? I'm going back to this because you need to feel it, okay? Are you willing to dispel your disbelief right now? Are you willing to feel all the feels, the discomfort, the fear, and take action anyway? Do you accept the doability factor of this? I hope it's a yes, yes, yes. And the final question, will you take action? If you're with me, type tag, take action, because I want to celebrate you. I will take action. So I love you all so much. All right, sisters, have a beautiful, blessed rest of your weekend. Mwah. God bless you.